G'day, I'm Pete Tekman-Coman here at ISE 2025 in Barcelona. And I'm on the SiliconCore stand, joined by Jim Wickenheiser.
Correct. That's
Wickenheiser from SiliconCore. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here at ISE.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, you guys, we've been working with SiliconCore for many, many years. You guys are always innovating.
Yes.
And we've come to the show and we've seen this 135-inch LED display on a cart.
That's right.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. No, this is the first time we've come to a show with the pitch 1.5. So yeah, it's 1080p. It's on a mobile cart. It's an all-in-one. So there's speakers, a send box on board, and the mobile cart. It also goes up and down, and it has wings that fold in and out. So it allows you to get through, so going up and down allows you to get through normal doorways.
Yep.
And the folding allows you to get into most elevators.
Which is very important because I remember back in the day, I've been in the industry a while and, back in the day we had Panasonic brought out a big 105-inch plasma.
100%.
That weighed a ton.
Yes.
And there was many times when companies were pulling out windows and craning that thing in.
Absolutely. And that was actually part of my design spec on this. Really? That's 100% what I referenced was those old Panasonics. Yes. They were great, but you couldn't get them in anywhere.
And they're so heavy too.
Oh, they're beasts. They're beasts. But that's the thing. This is nice and lightweight. Really, one person can push this around. Yeah. But we say two people because someone needs to steer.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's just practical.
So,
right?
But this is what you're selling here is an all-in-one solution. So
that's right.
So obviously you got the display.
Absolutely.
But it's also coming with a stand. You mentioned it was height adjustable as well.
That's right.
Right. That's handy. Like you said, even not just elevators, like doorways, moving around the whole space. You've got to get it down to a reasonable level.
That's right. Yeah. No, this thing drops all the way down to the base. Okay. And then it goes up a little bit higher than this. So, really you can get it high enough that it's, viewable from the whole room. Yeah. You can get it low enough to get it out of doors and into elevators. So it's really flexible in terms of where you can put it and how you get it there. Absolutely.
And one thing that I really noticed, with all your products, it's actually cool to touch. There's no, when I say no heat, I mean, there's next to no heat coming off your screen. This is cooler than any other display I've even cooler than LCD.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's exactly right. It's lower power than LCD. Yeah. And that comes down to our common cathode IQ driver chip. Right. So we have our own driver chip. We're the only ones who do that. Yes. And because of that, we're able to put a whole bunch of intellectual property into that chip that other people don't have. Yeah. So we're able to go really high brightness at really low power. Right. And you see the results, right? It's just it's barely above ambient. Yeah. And in some cases, when it's dark scenes, it's actually a little bit cool to the touch. Right. Right. So
absolutely. Yeah. And it's funny, and you're not suffering, even though it's so cool, you're not suffering with the brightness or the contrast. It's not affecting the image quality. You could wind it right down. Other manufacturers could wind it right down and get it cool as well. But the picture quality suffers.
Well, that's exactly it. So, this could go up to 1200 nits. It's not a 1200 nits because we're indoor at a show, but it also the other thing that being able to go that bright allows us to do is, we can maintain people's spec longer. So people spec in, 600 or 800 nits. Yeah. And even though, we're at 1200 nits, if they run us at 800, we're just going to last longer. Sure. Right. And so, over time, as all LEDs, not just ours, everyone's, they dim a little. And so if you're specking in something that's already at its maximum, you're going to lose your spec after a little while. Right. Whereas with us, we're rated at 100,000 hours, which is full white, full bright for 11 and a half years. Yeah. Wow. And so for us, I mean, you're just extending the life of your product. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
with traditional LED, fixed LED video walls. Yeah. There has to be a send box. You need to get the content there somehow. Absolutely. How does this work? Because like I said, when you've got a fixed display, you're normally putting the send box in the rack somewhere, running the cables across. How does this work?
Yeah. So this is closer to a monitor, right? So the send box, the controller, send box, whatever you want to call it. It's built right in. Okay. So right on the
so you got local inputs.
That's right. There's local inputs down here. And so HDMI is just going in straight at the bottom. and it's ready to go. I mean, it's really plug and play. You know, we go with the bring your own device model, right? It's just like, if you got an HDMI cable, plug it in and you're ready to go.
Now, the uses that I see for this is like, because obviously traditionally LEDs been relatively expensive, right? But at the same time, your LCD only goes so large, right? At the moment, you got maybe 110 inch.
Right.
If you want something bigger, you got a bigger space. Really, and you don't want something really fixed. You kind of need to put a projection screen in, a projector, and then, you know, you got inherent problems with that competing against ambient light.
Absolutely.
I see this especially in multi-purpose spaces, like large corporations where they're saying, look, this is a multi-purpose space, right? We have all different kinds of events. We want a big screen in here, but, you know, the room is completely reconfigurable.
Yeah, absolutely. What we're seeing people do, especially in corporate space, is it's ended up being a spend multiplier, right? Because instead of having to spec in an individual screen in different rooms, they're buying one of these and they're moving it around. So they'll book it through IT. They'll book the room and they'll book the device, and so IT will wheel it in. And it's bringing your own device, so you can just plug it right in, and it's like a monitor, right? And so, and to your point about LCD, it's like, it's brighter, it's more flexible, it's lower power. So, I mean, it's really, in my opinion, it's an easy decision. You know?
Absolutely. And especially with the multi-purpose spaces, they want it to be everything to everyone. And then next thing you know, you're putting in all these large displays for all these different room configurations, when potentially you could say, well, why don't we just have one of these?
That's right.
It's bigger. It's mobile. We can move it around. It solves all those problems.
Well, and we're also seeing some adoption in broadcasts as well. So like they'll put talking heads in front of this for once, and then they'll take it to another set and it'll sit outside a window and be, you know, ambient, outside view, right? And so again, they're multiplying their spend. Instead of having a fixed LED in each location, they just move it around. You know,
absolutely.
So,
no, this is look, it's a beautiful product, and it's actually, and also there's a coating on the, because this is like very smooth.
Absolutely. You know? This is our proprietary LISA process. And so, there's a couple of different ways you can encapsulate LED. The typical way is a process called GOB, which is glue on board. And so what they do in that process, is they take, a black layer and they put it over the LEDs. It does a great job encapsulating. It does protect the LEDs, which is very important for any LED.
Wouldn't that affect the contrast of all the brightness? And
so it's the brightness. It's the brightness, right? It helps them on their uniformity, but it definitely cuts down their brightness, right? And so because of that, they end up having to go higher power to hit the nits that are necessary, and it ends up being warmer. So I mean, that's not what we decided to do. We have our own LISA technology, which is proprietary to us, patented. And we put a layer of black down that does not cover the LEDs. And then we have optical grade clear on top of that. So we're able to maintain that brightness.
You're filling the gaps.
That's right.
And then you're putting a clear coating over the top.
That's exactly right. So people come up to, oh, is this GOB? It is not GOB.
Yes.
It is LISA.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And this product is available worldwide. I know you've got offices all around the world. So
we're globally
it's not restricted to Europe or the US.
No. It's available anywhere. It's shipping now. We have a front fold version of this, a rear fold version of this. We also have an HD Plus, which is a pitch 1.2 version of this. We also have versions that are 240 hertz. So we've seen this going into some folks that do commercials.
You need that. You need it to be.
Exactly.
You don't get that flicker in there.
Right. So they're doing commercials. They're doing these tabletop shots, right? And so they can either do slow-mo or they can do multi-camera, but it's really flexible.
So versatile. And like, I love the fact that it's not fixed, because traditionally LED is associated with fixed installations, and now we can just move this around wherever we need it.
Absolutely right.
Love it.
Absolutely right.
Love it. So, if you're at ISE, come down to SiliconCore stand. Check this out. They're all on display. All their products, not all their, I shouldn't say all their products. All their new products are on display. Right. They're in Hall 5 at ISE. But if you can't make it to ISE, your website is
silicon-core.net.
Silicon-core.net. Jim, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
And make sure you check out this beautiful 135-inch all-in-one mobile display from SiliconCore.